Today, we will see the world from a different perspective. Good afternoon, Mr. President. It's a real pleasure to have this exclusive interview with you. Given the context of the summit, we will be discussing the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus and its opportunities for cooperation within the Turkic world. Thank you very much for taking time to speak with us. How would you describe Turkish Republic Northern Cyprus' position at the Turkic Council Summit?
Well, we are an observer member. We were accepted in 2022 at Uzbekistan meeting, and since then we have been a member and we have been invited to all these meetings, not only at the presidential level but also various ministries and other institutions of the Turkish Cypriots. We have been at these all meetings, taking our seats and being part of the Turkish world. I think this was an important step as far as our position is concerned, because it has gained us a status in that we are a state and we can be a part of the Turkish world. And this is a privilege because we are Turkish Cypriots, we have got a state, we have had our own state since 1963, and since then we have done a lot to pass on our message to the whole world that the Turkish Cypriots exist as a people, and we have a state, and in that state we have democracy and full set of institutions that you would have in any kind of state. So I think we deserve to be there as a member state at an observer level. Likewise, we are also in the Islamic world at an observer level, also on the Economic İşbirliği Teşkilatı, as they call it, Economic Organization Committee. So we are doing a lot of work to get the TNC, Turkish Cypriot cause, to be promoted in the international community. Turkey, our motherland, gives us a lot of support. And here we are today at Azerbaijan, and this is my fourth visit to Azerbaijan in a presidential capacity. And I would like to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude and thank Mr. President Ilham Aliyev for his courage in that, despite some problems emanating from the position of Turkish Cypriots, because we are not a recognized state as such by the United Nations. However, a lot of nations, including the Turkish world, are recognizing the fact that we are a different people. We have our own state, we have our own democracy, we have our own institutions, so we deserve to be recognized. So basically, these meetings, these attempts are all strengthening our base for recognition. I think it's the right way to move forward.
In July, you attended the 18th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization in Kankende. How do you assess Turkish Republic Northern Cyprus' role at the Turkic Council Summit, and how does it help strengthen political and economic ties with the Turkic world?
Well, I was at that meeting, and in that meeting we have had the Turkish world and also Pakistan, Tajikistan, and Iran. And they were all there, and I was also there, so I watched their behavior and listen to their speeches, and I think that the Turkish world is moving in the right direction, in that if you are a bloc, if you have a lot of values together, you can put across strong views against the others, and you can be successful. If you are on your own, your chance of success is absolutely nearly impossible, because they won't take into account what they say. But if you are a bloc of countries, that gives you the strength to fight the others more strongly. So I think it is very important that Mr. Erdogan, the Republic of Turkish president, and also İlham Aliyev, Azerbaijan president, act together to basically promote the Turkish world, because the two leaders have been doing a lot of work to promote the Turkish world. And Mr. Aliyev, when he was elected again the president nearly 2 years ago now, he spoke at your parliament, and he did say that we are a full member of the Turkish world, and it's the only way forward, because at the end of the day, we are all Turkish, and we are a family, and we should be supporting each other. Kind of declaration he made there. I was very, very impressed. Therefore, I think it is very important that all Turkish origin countries stick together in supporting the set of values that the Turkish state represents. This is very important, and I'm very happy that it is being done at the moment.
What are the priority areas in Turkic Republic, Northern Cyprus-Azerbaijan relations?
From the point of Turkey, Turkey is our motherland. So Turkey is very much involved in Cyprus. In that since 1974, when the Turkish army ruled in, since then, for the last 51 years, Turkey, with her military presence in Cyprus, has done a lot of good things for the Turkish Cypriots, because we are not recognized, we have difficulty in getting finance, we have difficulty in getting things done, and we don't have that kind of experience after all these years. So with Turkish leaders, both politically and in business world, we have been able to do a lot of things that require a lot of work, a lot of determination, and a lot of courage. So I think we have been strong enough in Cyprus to do the things that we want to do, despite the embargoes and isolation of Turkish Cypriots. And lately, after the pandemic, and after the Ukraine war, and after what happened in Turkey on the 6th of February 2023, the big earthquake, which was a catastrophe for Turkey, and obviously it reflected also in Cyprus, because we are all integrated in a way economically. But despite all this, again, with the support of Turkey, Turkish Cypriots are now far ahead of what they were, or what they were at just before the pandemic. So we've done a lot of work with the support of the Turkish government to invest in quality education, in quality all sorts of sectors. And Turkish Cypriots now have a very fair standard of living. I'm not saying that we are the best in the European Union, but despite the restrictions on us through these embargoes and isolations, I think we've done very well.
During your meeting with the President of Azerbaijan, what were the main topics discussed?
Well, I have visited him, I think this was the 4th time, and I thanked him for the invitation. I thanked him for being always on our side, because I know that he visits frequently other countries, Mr. Aliyev, and wherever he goes, one of the issues is Cyprus, because there is a dispute in Cyprus, it's the seas around, and strategically it's a very important island, both for Turkey and Azerbaijan. So often when they meet these foreigners, the Cyprus subject comes up. And wherever he is, he gives us a lot of strong support, which basically is very, very important for me. Mr. Aliyev is a long-time friend of Mr. Erdogan. I've got to know him since 2022, obviously, but his determination to support the Turkish Cypriots is very welcome in Cyprus. I've been sharing what we discussed with our people in Cyprus, and Mr. İlham Aliyev is a real good friend of me and the Turkish Cypriots. I mean, he's giving us a lot of support, obviously within limits, but he is basically saying that the only way forward in Cyprus, if we are going to find a solution, would be a two-state solution. See, because the two sides have had a state for the last 60 years, and all in all, obviously, a two-state solution, because one state would be the Turkish Cypriot state, the other state would be a Greek Cypriot state. But for you to be able to achieve this, you need the Greeks to recognize the reality that we should be tolerating each other, and we should be respecting each other.
You previously recalled that in 1983, while in the UK, you saw a local resident reading a newspaper, which left a deep impression on you as it coincided with a significant event for Northern Cyprus. From those years until today, what has changed in the Northern Cyprus, and what are the prospects for the future?
Basically, that article was 16th of November 1983. Because on the 15th of November 1983, Turkish Cypriots declared independence in our parliament. And at that time, there was no social media or television getting the news out so fast. It was very difficult to hear what happened back at home, just like that. It took a few days. And it was 1983. The next morning when I was on the train going to work, I was standing and, holding this handle so that when the train was going fast, I didn't fall down. And I saw this man sitting and reading this newspaper. It was the Financial Times saying the Turkish Cypriots declare independence. And when I saw that, you see, I was very emotional. And I said to this programmer that I had my tears on my cheeks. I was so happy. And about 3 months ago, somebody also interviewed me about this. And when he asked me the question, and when I was telling him how I felt 42 years ago, I again cried. I had my ears on my cheeks. And there was a lot of debate about my tears because some people said, he's just making it up, he's being theatrical, and I obviously wasn't. I mean, I feel what I feel, and if tears drop, they drop. Yeah, I have some emotions, obviously.
How do strategic ties with Azerbaijan influence Turkic Republic Northern Cyprus foreign policy? What is the Northern Cyprus stance of reunification of Cyprus?
Basically, we have had two states in Cyprus for the last 51 years, two states. In fact, if you go back to 1963, it's been 62 years. So it's been a very long time. And Turkish Cypriots are running their own state, Greek Cypriots are running their own state. Their state might be bigger than us because they have more population and they're a recognized state, so there are a lot of advantages that they're using. And on the side, since 1963, we have had nearly 62 years within our own state. We have developed all those skills, we have developed all the policies, we have developed this, that, and the other. Therefore, there is no way of, I think, if you think logically, that we can turn the block back, turn the clock back 60 years and go and talk federation. Because federation is, as I say, is a solution, but it goes without saying that Turkey will go from this North Cyprus. And if Turkey goes, we will have a lot of difficulties, because with the Greek Cypriots, obviously, we are not able to come up with a fair solution. If it's not going to be a fair solution, how should it be? It should be fair, equitable, and sustainable. Sustainability is very important. So what I am saying is basically, since after all these years of hard work, no federation has been achieved. Mr. Akıncı was there, Mr. Erol was there, Mr. Mevlüt Tatar was there. They were all there with their young team, and now they are out because they are retired. But the young generation should know something about the past in order to discuss the future. Because if they don't try or make an effort to explore what was said during their times, then it's difficult to move forward. You have to understand what was said before to be able to move forward.
What are the main challenges in relations with the European Union?
Well, I have been telling them that we are in Cyprus. Cyprus is a very democratic island. We have got the left and the right, and those people who are in favor of a fast solution in Cyprus, those people who are not in favor of a fast solution, like me, we are after a sound solution. Not a fast, but sound solution. Because what is important is after the event, after the signature, to be able to get all these people who are working to promote the issue very positively. So we need the cooperation of our people to be able to get there.
What role does the UN play in the peace process?
United Nations have been always active, but sometimes they are somehow woken up by the resolution of the Security Council. And Security Council has not done a fair job to the Turkish Cypriots. In fact, what happened in Cyprus was way back in 1964 at a UN conference again. They have basically said that in Cyprus, the only way forward would be a federation which would be within the European context. And I said, look, if you are talking about a federation, this is, in fact, a partnership, however, Turkey has to leave the island with her troops. This will never happen. Turkey is only 60 kilometers. Greece is 1,000 kilometers. Can you imagine how far the distance is? But Turkey is here. Turkey, you can see the mountains of Turkey when you wake up in the morning. So we cannot give any kind of concession about our statehood. This is the thing. Our statehood is of crucial importance to us.
Which areas does Turkic Republic Northern Cyprus cooperation with the Turkic world cover?
Well, basically, we have a lot of people from Turkish world living. We have thousands of Azerbaijani people living in North Cyprus. We have a lot of Turkmen people, Kazakh, Turkmenistan, a lot of 100,000 probably people come from all these countries to work at our economy, either as in the service sector, maybe in a hospital, maybe in industry, maybe doing his or her own job, and some of them they look after our ill people at the hospitals, especially from Turkmenistan.
What are the Northern Cyprus priorities regarding energy and natural gas policy?
Well, energy is very important. Energy is to be exported to other countries in the European Union and maybe America. For this to happen, you have to go through Turkey. If you got the map, it shows you clearly that these pipes should go through Turkey. And now that Turkey is already interconnected with the European Union, it's very easy with today's technology to understand what I mean. Therefore, it is very important that we are persistent, hardworking, and try to convince the other side that we have to address the big issues together, so it becomes a win-win or Kazan-Kazan situation.
Finally, Mr. President, how is the Northern Cyprus developing its diplomatic and economic relation with other countries?
Well, we have been doing a lot of work. Since I became the president, I have visited many countries, the UK, Australia, European countries, and others. And I have had the opportunity to talk to them about this Cyprus issue, in that we have got two ethnic peoples, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, no discrimination, two peoples, two democracies. Obviously, with the land, we had to do something about that. Otherwise, it would have been legal. And with the Greek Cypriot signature, we have asked our people to get over the land, over the house, and hope for the best. So therefore, it's been a dynamic period with a lot of hard work in the international community to get to know the Turkish Republic of North Cyprus, to be promoting this place even better. And I think we have got some strong achievements, because I've seen a lot of people in other countries marketing, diplomatically representing their own firm and their own company. So things are not bad at all, despite the pandemic, now that we are at it, despite 6 February earthquake, which was a real horrible thing to have happened. But we did suffer. And now we have to move forward. And how to move forward? I proposed a two-state solution nearly 4.5 years ago at the United Nations conference in Geneva. And most of the world countries are not buying it, because they are, in a way, being suppressed by their sovereignty.
Mr. President, thank you very much for taking time for this interview. Your insights are incredibly valuable for our audience and give a clear picture of Northern Cyprus regional and international policy priorities.
Thank you.